What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Curtin here on the D.B.A.B podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the listen. I'm here with the boys. We got Cobbs, Fleet, Adam, and the one and only Jack Garcia.
What's up, man?
Today's episode is our pilot episode. First, right off the bat, second time trying it because now we get longer than 15 minutes. But hopefully this is gonna be good, right? So our first one, we're gonna talk about a lot of sports and whatnot. But before we begin, it's the DAB podcast. All
We're
right,
done.
welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the DBA podcast. I'm here with the boys. Like I said, this is our pilot episode, so we're gonna go around and do some introductions of everybody, so you get to know who's here. I'll start off with myself, just real quick to get out there. My name is Joshua Curtin. I coach here in Sealy, Texas. I do football, soccer. I'm originally from Lubbock, Reckham, right? Traveled all over the world. Glad to be here. Honored to be here. Cleet.
Oh,
Fucking with the mic, man.
right. It's a great start right here, right? Cleet, currently in Ozona, Texas. I coach and teach. Some of my boy Josh there. I'm from Midland, Texas, and just trying to stay warm during the second winter we're having right now in Texas.
Fucking A.
Cobbs.
What up, guys? My name is Cody Cobb. I'm originally from Mark, Texas. Home of state champions, baby. I'm from teach over in Terrell. I head baseball coach, assistant football. Excited to be here. Kind of like Cleet said, man, just trying to survive this winter. Like it's crazy in Texas, where they called it Alaska. Kind of funny.
What the
Man.
Who's speaking? Come on, man.
Damn.
Adam.
Thank God this is a pilot episode. No sponsors here, so we don't embarrass ourselves. Adam.
What's up? I'm the half of the Garcia clan. The scrub is this one right here. Shallow Water, Texas, holding it down. My job has nothing to do with sports. I'm actually logistics. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm here hanging out with my coaching homies.
Yeah. And we do have to say this
We'll
to
get
the
into
listeners.
logistics later.
All 0 listeners we got right now, but Adam is prone to have really bad takes, apparently. So get ready for a lot of them on this show.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's what I just heard.
But-
That's what I heard.
but passionate takes.
Yeah, but hey, it happens though.
Oh my
Everybody's got to take it.
goodness.
Everybody's got to have an opinion, and sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. So that's why.
That's why you always lead with, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's why.
And with all due respect, with all due respect,
That's why people on ESPN make money because they're always wrong. All right, and last but not least, Jack, hit us up, baby.
What's up, guys? I'm the other half of the Garcias. I'm from Shallow Water, Texas. We had a couple state championships too. We were one of the first ones to have a boys and girls basketball state. Suck it, Mark.
Let's
Wow.
go. Hell yeah.
Well,
Are you part
also,
of it though?
I'm currently a coach and teacher in Terrell, Texas. I'm football off head powerlifting coach.
Yo,
And
let's go.
all-
Yeah,
Whoa,
sir,
baby.
flex the guns, baby. Flex the guns,
And
baby.
also, I'm the better half of the Garcias. I'm gonna say actually of this
Wow.
Garcia, these two, the better one is here, but the other one.
Wow,
One's in the
shots
other-
fired.
But and speaking of logistics, dude over here, I think they just put him on the podcast to get me fired up because
Oh.
he knows what to say to get me.
Let's go. That's gonna make it spicy though. That's what we want. Make it spicy here. Heck yes. Let's
By the
go.
way,
I hear a
cheers
lot
to
of talking.
the pilot.
Yes, let's go.
Spice.
Modelo in the building, baby. All right, so the next thing we're gonna quickly go through, we're gonna try to limit it to one, so we're not on here for a long time talking about it. So please, one story at a time, please. You're either gonna pick the most embarrassing or the funniest moment in your life to date. And we're gonna
Oof.
start with Cleet and get it done and out of the way. All right, Cleet. So hit us with your
Well,
best shot, baby.
we've talked about it before, but I'm just gonna put this out in the internet and see what happens. Um, Played a Thursday night game, came out late. First year teaching. So I'm lecturing to the class, lean up against the wall, lecturing as you do, and I feel my eyes just kind of drift off into la la land and just sleep. So I like basically fall asleep standing up, lecturing to my class for about 2 seconds. And when you feel yourself like falling in your sleep, you just like wake up, like what the crap just happened. Well, that happened to me my very first year teaching, and needless to say, after that day, I discovered the value of coffee and lots of it,
Yes.
and so
And the grizzly
yeah,
bear was born, baby.
it was not my finest moment in the classroom for sure.
Hey, we got live when we learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Cobbs, let's hear your story, man.
And so kind of embarrassing and funny at the same time. It's funny to other people, and then it's embarrassing to me. But now it's kind of funny now to look back on it. So I want to say it was maybe my second year at Tarleton. I went to Tarleton State University, and I think it was my second year, and I had an English class early. I always say early. It was I think like a 9 a.m. class. And so,
Good for
I
you.
go out with the boys one night, a little hungover the next day type thing. It is what it is in college. And I wake up in a panic thinking it's like 9:15, 9:20, 9:30, whatever. And I rush out of the house, or I brush my teeth, I get dressed, and I run all the way to class over to the English building because I was like, man, I got a test in here today. Like, if I'm late, man, if I don't make it, I'm gonna be in trouble. Like, this is gonna be bad. I get to class and I sit down. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, man, like I don't recognize none of these people. Like, what is going on? And so I sit there for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm still thinking to myself, like, I don't know anybody in here. And I was like, this is not my regular class. And I looked down, was it till like 8:30? I was like, my class don't start till 9. I was in somebody else's class. So then, hey, I was like, no shame in
Overachiever,
my
baby.
game. I just got up straight walked out.
Damn. Hey, at least you got there early though, not
Yeah,
late.
man, I was early. I got to go back
Early,
and take a shower.
early bird,
Yeah.
early bird gets the worm.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
I can't. I wonder if either Adam or Jack's story is gonna have either one of themselves in this. So I got to hear from Adam first to see his most embarrassing or funniest moment in his life to date.
I mean, I got quite a bit. I mean, there was one time I woke up to go to practice when I was at good old Wayland Baptist. I woke up, work out, go and work out. I go to the calf, eat some breakfast, run into and so after I go back to work out, whatever, I go back, take a shower, go back to the calf. I was like, all right, I got plenty of time. So I end up skipping class that day, end up going back to sleep. Then I go back to the lunchroom. I run into my professor class I skipped that same day. But I passed out I didn't pass out. I fell asleep in the lunchroom, fell out of my chair right in front of her. Ended up failing because it was a
Oh,
attendance
oh,
attendance grade.
you gotta love
And
those
since
type
I
of things.
and since I didn't make the what do they call it? The first class where whatever they call it. Since I didn't make that class, I didn't know it was an attendance. So I didn't know that it was an attendance grade. I failed because my attendance.
Damn. So you missed like the first day. So like when they gave out the syllabus for y'all.
The syllabus. I missed the syllabus day, and I
Wow.
didn't realize. And then the next couple of weeks, I saw her at the calf. She was walking through.
What a way to leave an
Wow.
impression there.
Yeah.
Other people work ahead and
Wow.
not ever show up to class ever again.
Dang. Sounds like we
Moral
got
of
a
the
couple
story.
slackers here in
Moral of the
colors.
story, boys and girls, go to the first day of class.
Go to college.
Well,
Amen. Amen.
she
Go
also
to
told my
Phillips.
coach. So
Who is Mike? Is that?
I don't know. It's
It's
wearing
driving me crazy
background.
already. Anyways, yeah, what a great way to leave a first impression. Obviously, still today's important.
that's more of the most embarrassing, really,
Yeah,
because I could have
absolutely.
easily passed the class. I showed up every day after that, but didn't matter because I had already made a terrible impression.
Right. All right, Jack. What do you got, big dog?
I'm gonna say coaching for now. I think, um, Josh, you were part of take advantage of it. So I think it was our first year at PI or whatever, and I tell the guy to throw me the ball on the sideline because I thought it was Randy Moss for a sec. If I'm running a route, I tell this guy to throw the ball. Oh, well, he throws the ball. Just so you know, I caught this ball. All right, I caught the ball, sideline toe drag on feet, and I tumbled. And it's a Friday night, man. It's in front of all these people. I just do a tumble like I'm Randy Moss on a Friday night pregame. Like Randy Moss after that, I look like a beast whale, But I caught the ball,
Oh
baby.
man,
This is definitely
I
before he
remember.
was what he is
I
now,
remember.
where he's like 200 pounds.
I'm a fat lead,
Yeah,
baby.
he's definitely. I feel like he's definitely more of an
He's
athlete.
definitely a lot bigger
I'm
than.
fat lead,
I feel
baby.
like he's definitely more of an athlete now.
Fat lead, man.
Yeah, man. I guess
Adam can vouch for
obviously.
that. I've always been big and I've always been an athlete. I can tell you another story where we went to the rec center and I was out. I couldn't run, and I blocked a frat boy. I blocked his shot off the backboard. Adam gets down and makes the layup, and we win. And Adam goes, "Dave, are you going to do that out of nowhere?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, you got to. I got one."
It's
Yeah, just
opportunity.
be
Vouch for that one.
Opportunity.
well.
Amen. I see. I like how I say, "Hey, one story," and Jack pops off with two stories, but they were both good. So I'll give them to him.
Rule
All
breaker.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. I know how you were. So, anyways, I'll go for last, and hopefully my story is the cream of the crop because I think it is because it was absolutely embarrassing when I did it, but super funny now that I think about it. So, upstate New York, going to college, right? Living in this house that's like kind of broken down, so like that people live in it and got rented out rooms and stuff. Well, it's like on an incline of a hill, and so I was on a bike coming back from the store, biking up the hill. Well, I noticed this fine ass chick is jogging right in front of the house up the sidewalk. And so my dumbass, right, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna impress this chick, right? So I start pedaling real fast, right? Because in my mind, this is this is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go real fast. I'm gonna jump the curve right in front of her, like spin out and be like really cool, all this kind of stuff, right? And just walk away, right? Leave her speechless. So reality hits in. I do it, speed up, get in front of her. She's jogging. She probably looks at me like an idiot. I go to jump the curve. Front wheel hits the curb, bust my ass right in front of her, and she just
Hey,
jogs
she
around
need to
the
stop
house.
Oh,
moving.
And yeah, she just kept going, and I was so embarrassed and defeated that I just threw the bike down and walked in the house.
shit.
And yeah, I really had to lick my
Oh,
wounds after that
Hey,
one. But hey,
bro,
in my
ain't no
mind,
way
the
you
movie
come
scene.
back from that. Goddamn Dave
No
Vera
way.
looking
You know what?
motherfucker over here.
and he's still.
What's
And
crazy is I never saw
hence
that
why
girl
he's
again
the
ever.
only single one in the group.
Dang.
That's true.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I got tons of stories. Even the time that my wheels got taken off my car. That's for another
that's
day.
Oh, you live in New York?
But
Yeah, I
yeah, I
didn't
lived
know
in New York
this.
2 years old.
Oh, your hair? You
Yeah,
got
I've been around the
scraping the
world,
back
man.
of your head too? Because I see that bald spot on the camera.
Yeah, that's why it's bald. That's why it's bald on the crown. So I
The
fell.
balding actually
Very
makes so
much
much
so.
more sense now since I knew you rode a bike. You probably wore a helmet and it just made all your hair go.
Nah, I didn't wear a helmet. I was too
oh
cool for a
yeah.
helmet. You know what I mean? But then I bust
But
my ass.
I bet you it was the college thing where you go up the stairs and you stop at the very top and going, so no one catches you breathing deep, breathing hard.
Shit, it was embarrassing, man. I had it all planned out to be good, and then
You
boom,
go,
right in front of her.
Sounds like it was a great idea.
Yeah, it was a great idea until the execution failed. Then it was just That's how my life
It's like
goes.
the
Just store my
out route.
out 2 yard line for a pick six the other way. Yes, those are great lessons for an aspiring OC here. So it's great. Had another one this year too, almost pick six. That was another great one, but that was because they
Look
took
at
too long. But anyway, moving on to the next thing here. Our next topic, after getting the intros out of the way, us laughing at each other, and now the world hopefully can indulge themselves with our embarrassing stories or whatnot. This next segment is going to be a teacher coach story of the week, um, where we can have any type of story, whether it's something personal or something that we've seen that's piqued our interest through the week. And Cobbs and Cleat, you are on the clock to see who goes first. So if Cobbs, you wanna go first and tell us a story that's crossed your mind this week that's left an impression.
Yeah, man, I get it. Mine's not really a story. It's more of like just kind of like a little quick article, kind of, I don't know, I guess social media post type thing that somebody wrote up. Um, but it kind of goes in with what's going on today in Texas and kind of this week, cold weather and all that stuff, and just how people are, a big uproar about it. But like, as a superintendent or anybody that's in charge of a school district or whatever, in the end, how do you decide when, like how soon or how late, and how do you make a decision to cancel school because of weather? Like, I mean, there's,
Mm-hmm.
like earlier this year, I know we canceled, we had a half a day because there was supposed to be bad storms, like tornadoes and stuff. And I was like, well, man, when I was in high school, not that was a long, I mean, what, 11 years ago when we were in high school, whatever, it was, hey, get in the corner and put a book over your head. Now it's, oh, everybody go home, so like, how and when do you make that decision nowadays? And, it's just kind of a crazy world. People go crazy, especially low socioeconomical school or town or whatever where you don't have daycare, and some people don't can't watch their kids, they can't afford it, and they're at work and they can't afford to take off work because then they can't afford bills and everything else. But that's my big thing. Like, I don't know the right answer. I don't any of that, but kind of a cool little article, the kind of thing I read this year or earlier this week. Of how how do you make that decision?
Yeah, I think some of that nowadays is that they just kind of, I don't want to say they take a guess, but they look at the weather and then they kind of make a educated decision just in case
They the P
it's right or
word.
not. But
They the P word.
wow, wow. All right,
The-
Cleet,
Yeah.
Cleety
They the
boy.
Funny
P
story about
word.
that. That's a good topic, man. Las
That
Vegas.
is,
That's a good story.
I've heard
That's
that
good.
story. It was funny. I'm looking through this and looking at our little like script deal, and the story I was thinking of, or not story, but the moment kind of happened today with Brady retiring.
Mm.
You know, and he and you see, and I've seen a lot of like you know um, comparisons. I know it's hard to compare like athlete to athlete in terms of like different sports.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, and I don't know how y'all feel, and it's you know, we gotta watch greatness for hell. I mean, how long did he play? How long did Brady
Like
play? Like
23
23
years.
years.
20
20,
something.
23.
20 something years, 23 years.
Yeah.
And you think about the quarterbacks like through that era. He outlet. Did he get the tail of the farm right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So he
He
caught the
did.
tail in
Yeah.
Favre. Then we got the Eli, Philip Rivers, Big Ben, Breeze, Manning, all those cats, and just he's the one that kind of that group. And you check me, Mister Stat Checker. Was he the lowest drafted of that group? Of like
Of his, yeah,
of
of like the,
well, I'm talking about like Manning, Rivers, Big Ben,
yes, yes,
Yeah,
Manning,
he had
and
terrible.
and
yes.
Drew
He had
Brees.
terrible measurables.
Yeah, all the greats that came before him, he was the latest selected quarterback to go on and do big things.
Right, and a 6th round pick, and freaking, he's arguably the greatest quarterback to ever throw a football,
Yeah.
or
No,
one of the best to do it, especially
yeah,
in our era.
Yeah, so it's great that you brought up
Yeah.
Brady because I saw an Instagram post that I saved and it's the stats page, so it's like right up my alley. But like going through and looking at the stats,
You know,
it's unbelievable what he's done. So like I'll read through it here. I'll read through. So he's won more Super Bowls than any other player has played in at 7. He has twice as many Super Bowl appearances, 10, as any other quarterback. Like the second most is Elway at 5. He has more playoff wins, 35, than 27 of 32 NFL franchises. He has more career passing yards than Montana and Stevie Young combined. Um,
more years too.
it's crazy. He's the only quarterback to start a Super Bowl after turning 40, and he's done it 3 times. Like
And
it's just unbelievable what he's
Hey,
done.
here's a cool little like thought about him. Like, wasn't it Bledsoe that was a quarterback before he was?
yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah.
What if Bledsoe doesn't get hurt? Is Tom Brady who Tom Brady is now?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so
I think it
because I
takes-
think it happens later.
I just
don't-
think that he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't have done it at the Patriots.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just confusing because he took over for Bledsoe and led him to the Super Bowl. So like that created the Patriots dynasty stuff. Like he's not in playing.
Right, but
The
does Bledsoe?
Patriots-
He doesn't come in. Does Bledsoe lead him to the Super Bowl?
I don't think
that
he
year?
did.
I think they did because
Defensively, they were a defensive team. And they ran the football during his first year.
Yeah,
You know, that was their identity.
Well, what was it? 1 year he was rule. Was that the first year? His first year in New England was the punt rule. Come
yeah,
on,
against the Raiders.
along the way,
Yeah,
too,
but
yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to talk about like the what ifs and whatnot, but no
Come on,
sense to,
man. They changed
no
the rule, man.
no I agree.
Eagles
I agree. No,
got
no,
away
and
with the catch on Sunday. Des Bryant
Yeah, well-
caught it in Green Bay.
well, the NFL
Hey,
does.
Come on,
The
now.
NFL,
No, he
still
didn't.
doesn't know what a catch is, so that's why the NFL doesn't know what a catch is anymore.
they clearly
Well,
don't know what a
Yeah,
hold
they don't
is
know
either.
Yeah,
no doubt. Hey,
They
and
Or a
here's
false
what-
start at that. Let's not talk about they know about a false start either. False start,
They
holding.
don't know about.
If I was Lane
And-
Johnson, I'd be able to block Defensive Player of the Year too.
Sure. That's what I'm saying. I don't hold the debacle here too, but the whole thing that mind blown me was flags. 17 for like 165 yards for one team and the other team. Come on.
yeah.
Come on, man.
put the hat
That's what,
on.
man.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely
can put
something.
the
But yeah, that's good.
Hat on. You see what Arian Foster said today? Actions they ever play
No.
running back.
Hey, even Alvin Kamara came out and said something too about it too, which made me think like, dang, like it kind of ruins the sport for you. I know.
Hey,
Just so we're all
I don't say
clear,
much- I
I said
don't-
the NFL was rigged long time ago.
I was about to mention you, little bro. I was about
Long
to say
time
Adam told
ago.
me a couple.
Yeah, I agree. The
Me and my
business.
brother got a debate a long time ago.
Hurricane Katrina, Drew Brees wins the Super
Okay.
Bowl. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
okay. We
Peyton
can
Manning
go-
breaks
we
his
can have
neck, wins the Super Bowl. Come on, man.
You're about to be put on timeout. Calm down. Okay.
Ray Lewis,
Uh,
come on, man.
Yeah.
Torres
Okay.
Pec,
Calm down.
you know, came back in the season. Come on, man.
Time
get it.
out. Put him
We
time
get it.
out.
out. Like,
Yeah, we're about
out.
to introduce our followers to what timeout is. Okay. We can have our our conspiracy.
Time
hey,
out.
we're
podcast,
starting.
It ain't a
we're starting-
conspiracy.
but
We're starting the debate
whatever. You know what I mean?
early on this thing.
Yeah,
We're
I
getting
know.
fired up.
We're not even through our first little segment here. Also, we include updates of the week since 80% of us are coaches and one is not, but he'll let us in on
Does
his
that-
word.
does
of
that math work out?
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. But
You sure the
Yeah,
math works out 80%?
Hey, I didn't
yeah,
hear
there's
anything.
5 of us. One
So,
guy
all
that's
right.
80%. I'm not a math wizard, but I know that's math.
You sure?
Yeah, of course.
Statistician. He gets the stats and he tells us the stats, but he doesn't produce the stats.
Yeah.
mean-
That's the easy. I have the easy part. I just relay the stats that somebody else does.
Ugh.
Anyway, so also, like I said, since we're all coaches and stuff like that, we're all in our second sport right now in the spring. We're all football coaches. We all had successful seasons. Okay, maybe besides one. I just didn't want to throw them out there under the bus. But
no, we were
but,
not
you know,
successful.
but real quick,
It
shout
was-
out to
it's
all in the
Terrell
O-line.
Tigers, right? Shout out to Terrell, right? Go 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. So it's big for them, their community, their program, their kids. Shout out to Jack and College for helping getting them to that point, even though it was mainly Jack
It
and Cobb. Because
was all the
there
receivers.
was one
It was
game they even had
receivers, man.
receivers on the field. You know what I mean? But they still all did it
There it is.
themselves.
Take a shot
It was,
at it.
it's a team effort, you know. But they're good shot. I'm sorry, Cobb, but
Hey, but Jack can't say nothing. Jack is the biggest fan ever when it comes to my baseball games. But hey, that night I was the biggest fan of every lineman on that field that whole night.
amen,
Jack
brother.
can't-
Amen.
Jack can't
Amen.
say I wouldn't.
Amen. But anyway, so our second sports, our spring sports, if you will, like Cobb said earlier, he's baseball. I handle soccer, and then Cletus and Jack are both in powerlifting.
And
So, excuse me.
track and track,
And
big dog.
I'm sorry. And well, you're not in. Well, I guess track started. Right
But track's we're about to get kicked off of that too. So
You're about to get that thing running. No pun intended,
3.
right? Anyway, so
3.
so to give us quick updates about how things are going, Cobbs, what's the Terrell Tigers baseball program looking like right now?
And I think we're on, I don't know. I want to say we're on the up and up. We started, we were all very young when I first took over 2 years ago, or I guess this would be my third year. So about 3 years ago when I took over, we were super young, pretty much all freshmen, a couple sophomores here and there, and, a couple seniors sprinkled in. Now, this year we've gone through our lumps with our young kids, and now we're all juniors. So to me, it's almost a boom or bust year. The bad thing is we're going up to 5A, and our first district ball games against number 10, Forney in the state. We'll be tested for sure. And then
Chance to make a statement though.
yeah, we got to make a statement. That's the plan, and hopefully, we only got 2 seniors this year, so that's a big deal. We got 2 seniors that start, and the rest are all juniors and a sophomore behind the plate. And if we can keep improving and getting stronger and everything else, I think we're on the right track. The weather puts us behind, but that's part of it.
That's good. So the Terrell Tigers baseball program hopefully going to be making some noise
Hey,
up there in the DFW area.
So
let's not forget 2 Cobbs. 96 pouches of Gatorade. You got the Gatorade
Yeah,
order ready to go.
Okay,
Yeah, gotta give them that Gatorade, right?
Ready to go, Cobbs.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Texas.
They may not be very good at hitting the ball, but they will be, baby.
They be
They're gonna be
hydrated.
while they wait, they hydrate. You know what I mean? So, anyways, all right. So expecting big things out of the Tigers baseball program. So we'll be following up with that, getting updates to see how their season progresses. And then Fleet and Jack, I know y'all are in powerlifting season right now. Have y'all had meets yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so how's the Ozona Lions looking in powerlifting right now?
Not too bad. We're probably got a great shot to get about 12, maybe 13 girls to reach, and about probably 6, maybe 7 boys out
Okay.
to regionals. And way it's looking right now on the girls' side, powerlifting is it's kind of a weird deal because you just never know on the day. You could have a kid that's doing a great job hitting PRs, then the day the big meet happens, it's just not a good day. And so it's got a great opportunity. Yeah, got a great opportunity. I think the girls especially have a pretty good opportunity to compete for see if they can win the region, which would be freaking awesome if they can do that. But we're a pretty tough region, so it's gonna be fun. But we'll see how that works out. I know we got 1, 2, we got 3 more meets to regionals, and so we'll go from there.
All right, that's good. So
All
we'll be
right now.
expecting some good news for the Lions.
Great.
What about
All
what
right
about the Terrell Tigers in powerlifting? How are we looking there, Jackie
got some
boy?
baseball kids in there. Let's go.
Strong. How strong? Too strong. I'm just kidding.
Strong like bull.
Now weather clears up. Not really. We have a meet on Saturday for some of those kids to compete. Right now, we have about 6 that are ranked in our region.
All right.
So I mean, I got here 3 years ago, and there wasn't much effort into the powerlifting program. Me and our assistants are putting great effort into these guys and making them competing, and it's you can see it. I mean, the kids are buying into it, and soon when they ask us, we ask them what kind of weight they want. They say, I want this much, and they'll put that much on the bees, and like, you should put more on. So I mean, it's good to see. First off, when you're a talented kids compete when things get tough, because most of the time they like to quit.
Right.
It's always good to see that, and we're taking pride in the power for a while. Like first year here, there was no pride in it. They just like came out because they want to compete. They want to get better, and they want to make the regional. They want to put their name regional qualifier. They want to put that name in the state qualifier. They want that. They want that. They want that for the community. So that's a plus, and
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. It's
logistics. We lift here. Logistics, man.
yeah. Yes, it's good because then like sometimes you take over programs like that where there's not much put into it, and then you start to show a little love and belief into it in those kids, and then they start to see the rewards out of it, the gains and stuff, and it starts to feed into their confidence and all that kind of stuff. So that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. And Terrell, I know y'all got some good looking kids out there. So as long as they go out there and compete and give it everything they got, that's all you can ask for. Um, but I'll switch it over here real quick and talk about my soccer program here in Sealy. I coach the boys. We're about halfway through our season. Our district starts on Tuesday against Harmony of Discovery. And in my personal opinion, with the group we got, about close to half my squad are seniors, so big class going out, but a lot of good kids in that class. I really think we have a really good opportunity to do something that no team has done before in Sealy history, and that's win a district title. So that's what we're kind of is our main goal. Um, but currently we're 6-6-2, 6 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. In my mind, I think we should be 11-3, but we've learned some lessons and stuff. So I think we're prepared and ready to go for next week. We'll play 10 games. There's 2 schools in particular that when I get an opportunity, we're not gonna call the dogs off until I tell them to. So, but we're feisty. We're ready to go. These kids are hungry. They're passionate for it, and whatnot. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity and the chance. We just got to know that we got to approach every game one at a time. Respect our opponents, but come ready to play. So again, Steely Tigers. We're excited for soccer. We'll keep you updated how the season's going. But February 7th, 6 o'clock here in Sealy, Texas, TJ Mills Stadium is where it's going down. So
Vamos Tigers!
Puro
Vamos
Vamos Tigers.
Tigres!
Puro pinche Tigers, right? Last but not least, the man not involved in the sports world in terms of coaching, um, without Cletus shaking his ice in his cup so everybody can hear it. Adam, how is the world of logistics going in your job?
Uh, I mean, it's kind of boring, honestly. I don't have anything different every day. Stare at some computer screens, make sure people get their furniture, and I
Hey,
run
that's
a bunch of
important. That's
numbers
important.
to a bunch
Hey,
of
that's
knuckleheads.
You number punching son of a bitch, you.
And I mean,
that's important.
that's really all I do. I talk on the phone all day
Yeah, that's hey man. Hey, everybody's got to do their role, right? And you got to
while all
do
you
your part.
sissies are at
Know
home.
your
We're
role.
out here delivering furniture in these icy conditions.
Hey,
Y'all p words, y'all some p words.
hey, we had
Somebody,
school. We
some
had school
dude
today, so you
getting his
can't be
head
throwing that
beat
over
off on
here.
his wife.
But
So
anybody, hey, like I said,
Hey, we
everybody has
got
their
trucks
role.
in Dallas still running. These fools ain't scared.
Let's
stop
go.
talking
Okay.
about.
It
Hey,
depends on
people
what
need their
part of
furniture.
Dallas they're at, man.
Hey,
Good part right now.
hey. So the most thing is
All right,
people
now.
need their furniture. All right, people need their furniture. Okay. All right. Shifting gears here. Now, our next topic is inspirational slash motivational quotes, stories, or anything like that we've seen this week. Um, Adam and I are tasked this week with delivering this topic to our listeners. I'll go first. I got 2 stories, if you will. I've recently come across a really good email chain, if you will. It's called the Daily Coach. Every day they send out emails. I've sent a couple to Jack because they've been really good, and they'll take different topics from the sports world that happen all the time. So there's been 2 recently that from last week, I guess, if you will, that caught my eye and were really kind of shows you like what the sports world can do in a positive manner. But the first one was there were 2 highly ranked basketball teams in New York at the high school level, right? Um, anyway, so one of their star players had his shoes blown out, and he wore, like, a size 17, and, they were playing on national television and stuff like that, and, most people would, you know, be excited at that, knowing that one of their top players wasn't able to play because of, equipment malfunction, all this kind of stuff. I think sometimes in sports, people can be like that because they're scared of competition, they're scared of playing teams at their best. But the opposing coach, instead of taking that and running with it and let his team have an advantage, they went and found a pair of shoes that this kid could borrow so he could play in the game.
I didn't hear that. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Good sportsmanship stuff you don't see nowadays.
That's called right there. That's hence the name of the podcast.
Side and all that kind of stuff. So that was there. And then the other one was about the Bengals player against the Kansas City that had the personal foul and that basically lost them the game, and was talking about that. The kid got a lot of pushback on social media and whatnot, but he was a young kid trying to give it everything he got, and obviously probably not the wisest decision to make in that situation. But the response, from it and all that kind of stuff was, that mistakes are going to happen. But the kid was not trying to be dirty or anything like that. He was just out there hustling or whatnot. He wrote a really good article about when those situations arise, how to handle it and all that kind of stuff, and having teammates come to his back and coaches and stuff lets him know that they got his back and they're going to support him and not point the fingers or anything like that. So I think everybody can take that and put that in their own box to know that when those situations happen to him, there's a proper way to handle it, and it's easy to point the finger and be negative. But anywho,
Is that the one where his teammate, they were interviewing him in the locker room, and his
Yes.
teammate like right by him
yes,
and just
yes,
kind
yes.
of going, next question.
Yeah, I don't.
he's already,
I don't.
he's already,
Yeah, I don't.
BJ Reader.
yeah, he's
Yeah, I
already
don't
answered.
remember.
He's
Yeah,
already
I don't
talked about
remember.
it. Next question.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, and it's something kind of weird, and I don't want to like butcher it or whatnot. But
Yeah,
but
he's the guy right by him, just
yeah,
having his
because they
back.
had because at the end of the game they had cameras all over the dude because he's on the bench, upset, clearly upset, and emotional stuff like that, and it's just tough. I felt really bad for the kid because like I said, he wasn't trying to do it on purpose. He's just a defensive lineman who was having a great game. He was having a great game
Oh, he
for the
was.
Bengals, and he was just hustling, and he just he was trying to make a play, and it happened to be he hit Mahomes late out of bounds, um, and of course they got the 15-yard penalty and went on to kick field goal. So it happens, stuff like that happens when people are working hard. This is something you got to learn from and get better as you go forward. But
It's just part of the game, unfortunately.
yeah, part of the game. You know what I mean? And of course there was other stuff prior to that you can debate about, holding calls and stuff like that. But obviously that was the one called because it was a big moment too. But hopefully that guy, keeps his head up and knows that he's still a great player and that he'll learn from this and be better
Oh, they'll
next
be
year
back.
for the Bengals. So, anywho,
Who day?
Adam?
What was your motivation of the week?
I mean,
Couldn't be your take.
I'm gonna go ahead and quote because Kobe passed away a few weeks ago. So no matter how difficult the way, stay positive and believe in yourself. And that goes for like really anything. Even in some of the instances, I mean, mine doesn't really. I mean, but in some things, it's just everything. Because I mean, like you said, going back up to the Bengals situation, that young kid was having a great game. He's never been in that spotlight before. He's new, and I mean, what you're told to do as a coach is pursue the football. Regardless of where it's at. He made a play. It wasn't. I mean, he made a play. I mean, I don't really agree with the call or disagree with the call, but I mean, I don't agree with the way they're hounding him for it. But I mean, the man was making a play. He played. We're not going to talk about how good he did, but I mean, he believed in himself. So that kind of brings it all together. He believed in himself. He went and made a football play. It happened to be after the whistle. He had both feet on the line, but the way that people are reacting to him, to me, just doesn't seem fair to him. Because I mean, as y'all as coaches, I mean, you're going to tell him pursue the ball, make a football play. That's what you say. And that's two things that he did in that situation. You didn't see a coach screaming at him. You didn't see any. It was more like reporters and people like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. It's more reporters and like coaches. The coaches aren't attacking him, being like, hey, why'd you do that? He's coached to make a football play. He's a young kid. The
Right.
spotlight. He did what anybody would do in that situation. Veterans have made mistakes like that before.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
I mean, his teammates stayed positive for him. I know it was tough for him, and so I mean, it just kind of brought that to light. That there are still teammates that believe in you regardless of what happens. So I mean, whatever challenge it is, you just got to stay positive, and you just got to believe in yourself. So you know what, he might be put in the spot next year, and you know what, he might remember and might not make the same mistake he made.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great point. First off, shout out R.I.P. Kobe. A couple weeks ago, his anniversary.
Mentality, baby.
I think it's 3 years since they passed. It shocks me sometimes when I see it or whatnot. But again, R.I.P. Kobe and his daughter and their family and stuff like that. It's tough. But Kobe was great. But yeah, that's just a tough spot to be in for that young kid. But like we said, he'll learn and he'll live with it and move on. But all right. Next topic we got, we're going to try to hurry up and get through this one, and then we'll hit our closing remarks, and we'll be done with our first ever D.B.A.B podcast, right? So we're doing good work, fellas. Honored to be here with y'all. But debate of the week, right? I thought this would be interesting because it took social media by storm real quick. All right, I'm going to pull up the picture here, right? Everybody's seen this, okay?
It was on Coach Twitter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all over Twitter, mainly coaching Twitter.
Coach Twitter, I swear, it is undefeated on stuff like this. It really is. It is undefeated.
All right.
Stuff like
it's ridiculous. Now I know there's other pins that we can. There's probably other pins that you can throw on here. Like I got a couple that aren't here, but just real quick through our debate. Have Cobbs, you can start us off because you've been kind of quiet. But what is your favorite pin to use? Why?
Man, my favorite would be number 5. Obviously, I wouldn't use a blue one, but I'd be, a black pin, whatever. It's one I use every day. Jack sees it every day. It's on my whistle, hangs on my neck. But some people don't like it because it bleeds too much, whatever. Well, you just gotta, you gotta work with it. You can't.
You gotta fight.
You gotta practice. You can't just hold it on the paper too long, or it's gonna bleed and look all crappy. But to me, it rides smooth. There's no bumpiness to it. It just, I don't know. It's a great pin. I've used it. I've used that pin for a long time, and it's my favorite for sure.
By the way, if people are wondering, it's the Pilot G2.
G2,
yeah.
I think, something like that.
0.7.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just don't like, for me and how I write. Like I don't like how it smears. It can be smeary.
Like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, and of course the way I write is
easy
anyway. So, but Cleet, is there one? Is there one on this out of this 7 here that you prefer over all the others, or is there one not on the list?
It's the Pilot G2. What Cobbs was saying, and it's not even close.
Okay,
not even close.
Okay, okay.
If I would say, and it's that one, big gap. Then the Sharpie gel would be the 2.
Okay.
But the Pilot G2, if you have that on your desk, and I need a pin, you are not getting a pin back.
I'm about to say that's the number 1 pin.
I'm probably gonna be a self-proclaimed pin thief on some stuff. I will take a pin, and I hide those pins because I know how good they are.
I bet you, little pin thief. You.
I know we're talking about pins, but is number 6 really a pin, or is it more of like a marker?
That's a marker, bro.
That pin go hard.
Marker, and 7 is not. Why is I don't know why 7's on the list?
Because people use it. Prefer the classics.
Yeah, it's the cheapest.
It's
one.
awful.
It's dependable.
It's awful.
And it's cheaper, so you get tons of them.
Yeah, and people like.
You're right, but riding with it is awful.
Well, depends on how you like to grip it.
It's like a fidget
Adam,
like chewing lid.
Adam,
I'm a 3 guy.
Okay.
I like the Sharpie S gel pin.
Okay, cool. Jack,
and I don't even use the Pilot G2. If I'm being honest with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Too big red too. You don't too big red too. Big red either, do you?
Why would you chew Big Red?
Shout out,
Well,
Ricky.
That's a
Shout out
F
Ricky Bobby.
level,
Well,
F tier gun.
quick question: Are any of
F-tier.
you left-handed?
Nope.
Nah.
Nope.
That's
Right.
why. That's
You're
why
the
you
only
can use
weirdo.
the gel
I don't
pins because you're not left-handed.
I get that. I get that. All right, Jackie boy.
5.
Okay, so we got 3
I
for
don't.
5.
I mean, I'm not gonna sell you on it. If you've ever used one, cool. Not a big deal. I've used every.
Right.
I've used every single one of those pins, and
Okay.
as I get a big box of the 5s, and I'm fine. I've had Sharpie pins. I lose them. I don't know why. Those seem to be lost all the time. The gel pen doesn't, whatever, wear in my pockets or whatever. But every single one of them, the lid thing, I lose the lid, and then I just get 5 is where it's at.
Well, but
Okay.
then
I
to me
respect
too,
that.
you need the clip on it so it can hang whistle too. So you can get it or on your in your pocket or
Yeah,
something.
but I don't like the
J-
plastic clips because they can break and whatnot. But
So Josh, you go real quick, and I have a question for y'all regarding these.
sure.
pins.
I don't really have. When I first saw this, that was kind of funny, whatever. But like, I don't have a particular favorite pen, if you will. Actually, it's kind of do it's in my hand right now. But like out of these 7, like I don't know. At the end of the day, for me, a pen is a pen. You know what I mean? Like, if you need something to write with, I'm not too anal about stuff or whatnot. But like this pen right here is a Papermate. I don't even know what kind of Papermate it is, but Profile 1.4B or whatever. But anyway, I guess that would be my favorite. Whatnot. But I don't mind the G5s. I just find it to be smeary. But I even number 2 is like that. Like I have a couple number 2s in my desk, and they're kind of like the same gel type stuff, whatever, and whatever. But especially the way I write, it's like chicken scratch anyway. So it doesn't matter what type of pen. That's why I like 7 and pens like that. They're a little bit more less smeary, so I don't have to worry about it like leaking on my paper, or if I accidentally touch it, it smears all over the place. But like I said, I'm
You're the odd
terrible at
duck.
handwriting.
You're an odd duck.
Anyway, Cletus, you said you had something real
Yes.
quick.
So of those 7 pins, since we looked at your favorite, which it's renowned, I think we all said number 5. All but a couple of us said 5, right?
Slap.
Yeah,
2
Or
slap
3.
asses. It's fine.
60% of you.
Three of the 5 of us said number 5. Least favorite.
Ooh,
Least
7.
favorite
you
of.
pull it up
Now
here
here's
again.
the thing, though.
I probably said it's 4.
For me, it's number 2. I hate the way the number 2 writes.
I don't mind it.
I'm going
I
number
hate
4.
it. I hate
I
the
would-
way
I
I'm
would
he
gonna
probably
go
writes.
say
with
number-
4.
I'm gonna go 4 too.
I don't mind 2
Okay.
and 1 because like the I don't know what do you call that? Like it's like got a real skinny tip to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's easier, right? Number 4 has like a normal pin, kind of like number 5 does, like a normal tip to it, and that thing smears like crazy.
See,
Yeah,
I
that
feel
one's
like
garbage.
I feel like number like 1 and 2, and maybe just how I write. Like I feel like I freaking like bend those freaking like
Too heavy
I
on it.
go
Yeah.
and I ruined those pins.
Just
I
like
am-
It's not like
buffet
it's not
lines. We know, big guy.
it's not like the
That,
dry
that grip
erase.
strength,
Buffet
though.
lines.
That grip strength.
That grip string, yeah.
Oh,
You gotta
Don't
go get
Don't worry,
That
he's
grip
gonna.
strength, baby.
Don't worry, that's gonna get weak now since he's got a woman in the works now. But
The Grizzly.
you got
Look at that
The
strength on that cup, baby.
Shout out to the
What them
Grizzly
hands
Bear.
do, Cleveland? What them hands do?
yeah, he got to get him a
Cletus is probably also
Manicure.
one of those coaches. He
He
takes the
feels
dry
so
erase
good.
markers and he pounds it in to where you can't use a dry erase marker no more because he pushes it in.
Oh no! But I keep putting my like on Friday nights. There's a dry erase marker in my pocket, ready to go.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
if
Hey,
someone needs a
speaking
dry
of-
erase
speaking
marker,
of dry, there's one I use on Friday night.
Oh.
It's not the Expo. It's not that because those Expos they go out
okay,
and I throw those things away. Yeah, that's another use Expos on Friday night. Any other time I use them, but Friday nights.
okay. I have a question on the Expo.
I throw them. I've lost 3.
Yeah.
I've lost 3 of them. I bought a pack 6 this year. Lost 3 of them. I don't know where they are. They're not in my bag. I might have thrown them at somebody or thrown them in the stands or something. I don't know.
So
I got you.
real
All right.
quick. Sorry.
And,
Let's
okay,
see.
hurry up.
Speaking of
Hurry up.
chill. Speaking of Expo,
No, we don't
do
need
you
to talk
go?
about Expo. We can talk about that next
Do
time.
you, we're talking right now. Is this what a damn podcast? Isn't this what we're supposed to be doing? Is talking?
Yeah, yeah,
Mr.
but we
Host?
got one of our members.
We're supposed
one
to
of
be talking about things that you're not talking about.
Yeah, and we got one of our members that's got to go somewhere here soon, so we gotta close this down. You can save Expos for next week, Todd. I mean,
Oh my god!
please, get that story ready for Expos next week.
Hey,
But,
shout out for
D.B.A.B.
one of out of Iho or Ehi.
Mijo? Iha?
Wait, what?
Shout out
Ours
Expo
is
sponsor us. These
Oh.
coaches could use free
Sponsor
Expos.
Expo.
Expo,
yeah,
give us
shout out
money.
Expos.
Shout out
Expo, give us
Expos.
money.
These coaches
I
could
guess-
use free
Pilot.
I guess
Expos.
also shout out Pilot
Hey.
G2 as well. Let's
Pilot,
some
give
free
us money.
tickets here. Let's go. Also shout out Gatorade, so we all get Gatorade, baby. All right.
Give us money.
Yes, sir. So in closing now, we got stat of the week. I got a couple here. One of them's gonna be really good for Clee. He's really gonna love this one. And then we are going to go to game predictions for Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. But real quick, two stats I've come up with. Y'all can be free to share your own. But if we see here in the picture, in this little circle, these are where all the last 17 national champions have come from. If you think about it, that is crazy. Now I
Southeast, man.
understand- Yeah, all you got to understand, like Alabama's won it a couple times, LSU's won it a couple times, but then you got Florida State, Gainesville, Gators, and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely that southeast portion of the United States, Georgia, the Bulldogs or whatnot. It's just crazy to see that in the last 17 years, these are where all the national championships have been residing, or those schools have won. Just crazy
Mhm.
stat there. Probably going to continue
Shout
in the
out.
future. And
WTF
then the last one I
stats right
have.
there.
And then the last one I got here, right, and this is from this WTF stats page on Instagram. Shout them out. Is the Wizards beat the Spurs in San Antonio for the first time since 1999. That is
Didn't
a
realize
long,
that.
Shout out.
Me neither.
What is
Let's
that?
go,
Wizards.
baby. So that's a long time to not get a dub in San Antonio, and the
That is a
Wizards
long
finally get it
time.
done.
Shout out to the Spurs, man. Shout out to the Spurs.
Yeah, shout out to the Spurs.
99.
Yeah, Tim Duncan then will be proud.
They're not proud
Anybody
of
else got
that
any other
stat,
stats? We only got stats of the week or not? That was 24 years ago. Please.
It was a long ass time ago, bro.
24 years ago.
How long is that?
Freak.
But out of those,
Oh,
another debate. Which one of those 16 or 15 teams are the best teams of all time in college for this topic? But just think about that. That's coming up.
Alabama.
That's a
Back to back Georgias.
Anyway,
You got the back to back Bamas. You got the Gators. You got
hey, another stat.
I think overall the last 17 years, you have to say that Bama's been the best team in college football.
Clemson. You got
Hey,
the Tigers. You got
Hey,
Clemson. I mean,
another debate topic.
it's a
I also think that
shout out real quick to the Kelsey Bowl.
it's hard to compare those whenever the college football playoffs and all that stuff has changed now too. I think
I agree with that, but I think the most consistent team in the last 17 years, you have to look and see is Alabama. And I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but I think Georgia's making their push for it. But I think overall, you have to look. Now, of course, the SEC conference itself has been dominant, but we all know that.
that was a car topic, just so you know.
Yeah, that'll be one we can have in the future. That'll be a great little topic. Any other stats that we got, boys?
Yeah. Shout out to the Kelseys. Kelsey
Okay, yes.
Bowl's coming up in.
He
Yes,
said
sir.
stats, fool.
All right,
He didn't say
It is a stat.
It's the first
Oh,
brothers going
first
against each other in
time.
the Super Bowl.
Two brothers
Hey.
are playing each other in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Full.
first
Yes,
time
we also
kids in
Also got two.
First time two Texas quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Two
just about to
Texas
say it.
football.
Yes, sir.
First time two Texas high school football quarterbacks going off against each other in the Super Bowl.
And
And
still have
That
more.
one.
Texas quarterbacks have had more high school Tech University. Oklahoma has had more starting quarterbacks in Super Bowls. Should we go on? Go on, Josh. I'm sorry.
damn.
That's what I was
Go
more
ahead.
shocked about, that there has not been two Texas high school quarterbacks played each other in the Super Bowl in what are we at 50? What are we on 50?
57.
57 years. There hasn't been two of them.
Well,
That's
not only that's crazy, but the first Texas high school football quarterback to ever play in the Super Bowl, I believe, was Drew Brees.
That was
Going
a
back
first.
and looking at all of them, that was
Go
crazy.
go
In
Chaps.
57 years.
Go Chaparrals.
Chaps. Shout out
Shout out
Breeze.
to Westlake.
Oh.
Shout out
Shout
Westlake.
out Katrina. And we're- shout out
That's
for Katrina.
a topic for another day, fellas.
Shout out
But anyways,
Katrina.
last but not least, what we got here, we got Super
No
Bowl.
Katrina,
57
no Super
coming
Bowl
up.
for Breeze.
Okay, just love being interrupted, like my students. in
Well,
class.
baseball starts this year. Let's go. Let's go. Only like a couple days.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about baseball when baseball gets here. You're about to piss off the host, and everybody's going to go in timeout. Okay.
College baseball.
Anyways, we got Super Bowl 57. It's going to be held in Arizona. We have the Eagles of Philadelphia and the Chiefs of Kansas City dueling it out. Jalen Hurts versus Patty Mahomes. Cobbs, what are your game predictions for the Super Bowl, baby?
Man, isn't Philadelphia the underdog?
Yeah, but they're only like a point and a half.
Yeah,
That's
but
still
they're
an
still
underdog, pal.
There's no
Point and a half.
underdogs
point
in
and a half,
this
man.
one. Point and a half.
Well,
Not
It's a
underdogs.
damn. It might as well just get pick 'em.
It's two Texas high school quarterbacks, so you can't go wrong either way because Texas is
Right,
going to bring back a championship one way or another.
Yeah.
Even though it ain't UT, I get it, Jack. I would beat you to the punch because I know how you are. But I'm
I'm
going.
gonna beat it. I'm gonna
I'm riding with,
get another jab.
riding with the Eagles. I don't know. They've been to me one of the most consistent football teams in the NFL this year. Obviously, they lose a couple games here and there, whatever. But to me, they've been the most consistent.
Right.
And at that point, hell, that division was the toughest in the NFL. And they found a way to win, more times than not. So I'm going with the Eagles. I'm gonna go ahead and say, what's the line? Do we know what the line is?
I think it's
actually-
when I saw it as a point and a half. I'll look it up real quick.
It's 49.
Repeat it one more time.
What's up?
Oh, I thought you said score prediction.
No, I'm gonna go 31-27 Eagles.
Okay.
Eagles, fine.
Jack, what you got?
Tell as old as time. Little brothers can never beat big brothers. Jason Kelsey's going to get number 2. Travis can get his number 2 next year. Shout out to the older brothers out there in the world.
Wow.
Little brothers can never beat them in anything.
Yes,
First
sir.
things first. I do think I hate saying it because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I think the Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs just because a beat up Chiefs team and their weapons aren't the same when he doesn't have those weapons anymore. I mean, he pulled a miracle with his broken ankle or whatever the heck it is against a team with he had no receivers and out of his butt. And only miracle, you can't have lightning strike 3 times in a row sometimes. So I think it's like maybe 4-point game or something crazy is going to happen. Maybe
What's your score?
28-21, something to that extent. To that extent, be defense. Oh, okay, 28-24. How about that? Okay,
Okay.
out there,
You said 4
beat
points.
up on your little brothers this week. That's what it's about, or for 2 weeks.
All right. They got the Eagles. Cool. Cleat.
But just so you know, you can never count out Pat Mahomes.
That's the
Count him
only
out.
thing.
Right at him.
Yes.
Right at him.
That's
We'll get there.
Right at him.
so.
We'll get there.
It's a point and a half, and the over under is 50 and a half. I'll shout out A.J. Brown. Shout out Titans for trading A.J. Brown to the Eagles.
For a piece of candy.
For a piece, no, not a
crayon.
piece of candy. Piece of candy would actually be worth something. It
A
was less
crayon.
than a piece of candy.
Yeah,
No,
y'all think
not
that's
even
way
a
wrong.
crayon.
Crayon.
A crayon's even worse than that.
The rapper of the candy came in.
Yeah, maybe the wrapper.
Your
the
least
rapper
favorite
candy came
pin.
in.
That's what y'all traded him for.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Freaking A. So, I'm probably gonna go with the Eagles as well. Probably 42-38. 41-38.
Okay.
I think they're gonna hit the over under, and I think it's gonna go over. but I think the Eagles going to win a close ball game, and
Mm.
the older brother Kelsey's going to get ring number 2, and he's going to,
Okay.
you know,
Older
it's
brothers, baby.
the New
Older
Heights
brothers.
podcast is going to be very interesting.
Yes,
Yeah,
It
That
came
next
out today.
week.
It came
Oh,
out today.
it was pretty good when they were talking.
Yeah. Shout out New Heights. Shout out the Kelsey brothers on the New Heights podcast. Great listen to if you don't listen to it already. Adam, what you got, big dog?
Well, my take was so horrible last time against Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going against him this time. If I'm being honest, I think that it's going to be a double-digit win by the Chiefs. I think that Patrick Mahomes made it work with one leg and thin wide receivers. I think Isaiah Pacheco at least puts up 100 total yards. He had a great game last week, and I think that the Chiefs defense shut me up last week, so I think that they get a turnover. But I do think that it's going to be a high-scoring game, so I would go along the lines of something like 38, 28.
The
Okay.
Chiefs D has played freaking awesome the last
Yeah, absolutely.
few weeks,
That was
man.
a take. That was a take by
Spagnola, the defense.
your boy a couple weeks ago that said the Chiefs defense, and I made him a believer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Excuse me. I don't know. I would.
Joshua, what do you think?
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I did not pick any of these teams to be in the Super Bowl. I thought the Bengals would do it, but they didn't. And then I thought the 49ers would do it, but when Brock Purdy went down, that kind of ruined all of that.
Yeah, bro.
But
Shout out for Purdy for playing with us. Shout out.
yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Brock Purdy for trying to battle through and get his team to the Super Bowl. They came up
Gutting it
short.
out, man.
Absolutely. So again, I think it's gonna be a really good game. I hope it's a really good game. I think the Eagles are playing really well on both sides of the ball, special teams too. I think the Chiefs are playing really well. Like we've talked about with their defense. Spagnola there's got them rolling. They got playmakers over there. It's gonna come down to, like turnovers and who can establish the run game, in my opinion, and whatnot. But I went against Mahomes last week. Too. I gotta go with the Red Raider boy. Just to he's not 100%, but he's still out there battling. He can still sling it, right? That arm ain't broken, so he can still sling it. He still got Kelsey to drop it off to. I still think they got weapons. I think they'll get healthy enough to be in the Super Bowl or whatnot. But I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna go 31-24 Chiefs.
And
But
Reed, man.
I don't know.
Shout out to Reed. Hey, shout out to Reed Bowl too, man. Reed coached both those
Yeah.
teams. One with Kansas City and lost one. The Eagles too, a dynasty at the time. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Shout out, Reed.
Hopefully
With
it's gonna be a good game.
with a limping To and a beat
Yeah.
up McNabb, that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, but
Lost
they were
by
there.
3 to the Patriots.
Shout out. And how they scored. We're talking about that another time, but someone has to get
Yes,
up out of
sir.
here.
And I think the coaching experience comes into effect in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
I
they'll
agree.
be ready to go. So I just hope it's a good game. All that good stuff. I think it will be a
Oh,
good game.
real quick. Sorry.
But-
Last little thing. Did you see the cheapest ticket? We looked this up in my economics class
What are like
this week. It was like it was a little bit over $4,000. Almost five. It was almost $5,000 that's the cheapest ticket. The most expensive ticket I saw on like StubHub was like $33,000.
Yeah, of course, the Super Bowl is going to bring in money. People, there's high demand, low supply for that. They're going to get whatever they want.
it, baby.
Economics lesson there. But anyways, boys, it's been a privilege. It has been an honor for our first podcast here, the DBAB podcast, with your boys, Curtin, Cobbs, Cletus, Adam, and Jack. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, listeners, for giving us your time to listen to us knuckleheads talk. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. Without a doubt, boys, that's a wrap. Good night.
When in doubt, DBAB.